A warm welcome to the US New Times. Today we bring you another exciting episode of the most wanted Rwandan genocide perpetrators, as well as where they are, what happened to them, their role during the genocide, and some countries that have been harboring these suspects for so long. We say in English, justice delayed is justice denied. Today we'll be looking at some of the figures that were in Rwanda in 1994 during the genocide against the Tutsi, and we're also going to look at the role that they played, because we are coming up with this topic today. I decided to discuss this because of late I have seen in different media where they are discussing the fate of a former businessman by the name of Kabuga Felician, who was hiding, who was a fugitive for so many years, almost 25 years, and he was arrested from France and taken to Hague International Criminal Court for trials, but they failed to try him because of some of medical conditions that were raised, and he was tested to find that he's not fit to stand in court. So as we start, maybe I start by giving you, before we go to the issue of Kabuga, I start by giving you maybe the top 8, the top notch 8 who had a big role, who played a big role in executing, in preparation and executing of the genocide against the Tutsi. Number 1, we had the man himself, Kabuga Felician. Kabuga Felician was born from Mukaranga commune of former Byumba prefecture. Then now it is Gicumbi district in the northern province of Rwanda. And Kabuga was born on the 1st March 1933. But others says it was on the 19th July 1935. No one knows very well. Kabuga Felician was a very rich businessman and an influential MRND connected figure, widely described as major financer and logistical backer of extremist Hutu networks, alleged to have helped fund, equip the Interahamwe militia to have support RTM radio. So I was just reading a brief background about Kabuga. He was one of the major sponsors of the genocide against the Tutsi. He was one of the major sponsors of Radio Erterem. Radio Erterem was used for mobilization. It was used to spread hatred as well as division among Rwandans. Kabuga Felician is facing, among other charges and allegations, indicated by the ICTR, International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda, and the IRMCT for genocide. Those are the crimes, the offenses that Kabuga is being charged: genocide, crime of genocide, conspiracy to commit genocide, incitement, and crime against humanity. Multiple accounts of these crimes. The current status of Kabuga Felician is that he has been arrested in a place called Arsène-sur-Sire near Paris, that is in France, on the 16th May 2020, after decades as a fugitive, as I said. Later on, he was transferred. He was transferred to international criminal court in Holland. Second on the list was Kaishema Fulgence. Kaishema Fulgence was born from Kivumu in the western province today, former Kibuye of Rwanda, and he was born in 1960. The sources says, as I'm trying to make a research, his role was he was a police inspector and the local official in Kavumu area during the 1994. accused of leading role in massacres, including those in Nyanje Church, and supplying fuel, mobilizing in Interahamwe to ban refugees. Nyanje is currently located in Ngororero district of Northern Province. Is it Northern Province? Yes, of Northern Province. And he was an inspector there. We know Nyanje, we have a genocide memorial site in Nyanje where we have also a priest called Seromba who was part and parcel of those killings. And today we are saying that his status, he was arrested from South Africa in May 2023 after long years of fugitive, and currently the proceedings is under international and the national cooperation. They are now trying to prosecute him because he was found hiding, and he actually changed his nationality. He was found as a Malawian. I'm trying to explain the background of all these people and showing how they were hiding, so that we come to the point of foreign states or foreign nations that are harboring these murderers. Number 3, we had a man called Prote Nhuyahaga. Prote Nhuyahaga was born from Gitarama prefecture. Today is called now Muhanga district. He was born on 30th May 1956. His career, he was a military officer, commander of the Presidential Guard Battalion, GR, today they call them GR, the elite unit charged with Habyarimana's protection. In 1994, regarded by many judges and prosecutors as one of the most dangerous and operationally implicated military figure in the genocide. Protein Hiranye, he was among those who were heading the unit that were taking care of the head of the state, and he was one of the most feared and the most dangerous person. Some of the allegations that he was charged with, indicated by the ICTR, for multiple counts including genocide, complicity, murder, excrimination, rape, and other crimes. You can imagine a full colonel going for raping civilians that he can protect. You can understand what a government Rwanda had. The current status today of Mpiranye Prote is confirmed dead. Reported to have died in Zimbabwe in 2006. His remains and identified confirmed in a subsequent probes declared deceased by international prosecutors tracking ICTR fugitives. Number 4, we have Auguste Bizimana. Born in Gituza commune of Byumba, Northern Province, you see same province with Kabuga, in 1954. His Bao was a politician who served as a Minister of Defense in the interim government formed after the Habyarimana's death, a defense minister during the critical month of April to July 1994, when the RPA were fighting to stop the genocide against Tutsi, as well as to liberate the country, to liberate Rwanda and the Rwandans. He alleged to have had commanded responsibly over forces that took part in the killings. A lot of former ex-FARC soldiers were involved in the genocide, and most of them, as you can see, were commanded and ordered by a minister in charge of them to go and commit genocide. A minister is entitled to protect civilians and not to kill them. So you can imagine what a government, what a country Rwanda was. Charges and allegations indicated by the ICTR IRMCT for genocide complicity in genocide and multiple counts of crimes against humanity and war crimes. So this one, a war crime comes in, I think, because he was a minister. Status confirmed dead. Reports indicate he died in Pointe Noire, Republic of Congo, Congo Brazzaville. Around 2,000 remains were later identified. He died before facing trial. So he died before facing trial. If he died in Congo Brazzaville, this means that he must have been trying to run from the Kabila war. those days maybe from Bukavu areas and Kinshasa and trying to find a refugee in Congo Brazzaville. Then we had Ladislas Ntaganzwa. Ladislas Ntaganzwa was born from Butare, is currently Huye district, and in 1962, short bow, he was a burgomestre, mayor of Nyakizu commune, Butare prefecture. In 1994, prosecutors say he instigated, organized, and led massacres in Nyakizu, distributed weapons, lied militiamen, and directed killings. So you can imagine again, a mayor is simply a local leader who is in charge of citizens. He was in charge of protecting citizens, the well-being of citizens. But you can imagine his behavior. He was arrested in the Democratic Republic of Congo on the 7th December 2015, transferred and tried in Rwanda, sentenced to life imprisonment. He was sentenced reported May 2020. So he's currently facing justice in the Republic of Rwanda. Number 6, we have Munyarugarama Phineas. He was born from Kidaho commune. Kidaho commune is also in the northern part of Rwanda in Byumba. Again, is from the home of Kabuga Felician. He was born on the 1st July 1948, and he was a lieutenant colonel in the Rwandan Armed Forces FAR, commander of the Gako military camp. Gako is where today we have the training college for our military officers, and the most senior FAR officer in Bugesera region. This is now in the eastern part of Rwanda, Kigali rural area in those days. In the early 1994, indicated for ordering, encouraging, and carrying out mass killings. Charges, allegation indicate for genocide and crime against humanity by the ICTR mechanism. The current status, IRMC, the mechanism confirmed he died in 2002 in DRC. The office of the prosecutor publicly announced he died unaccounted for. Number 7 on the list. I'm still reading for you before I go into the analysis. I would love the listeners and the lovers of the US New Times to be sure that what we are giving you is accurate and correct. Charles Sikubwabo. Charles Sikubwabo was born from Gishita commune in Kibuye, from Kaishema's area. This is currently is Karongi district. Yes, given as early as middle 1940s in the tribunal documents. Birth date in early 40s. Short bow, burgomestre. He was a mayor of Gishita commune in Kibuye. He was a burgomestre of Gishita during 1993 to 1994, which means he was just a mayor for 1 year. Indicated for instigating, organizing, and personally participating in mass killings, including in the Kibuye area and the Bisesero region. Bisesero is a well-known place with a strong history of genocide against Tutsi. Is well known for the resistance of Bisesero. I think one day I shall also make one episode about these people, how they managed to resist the killers. Some of the charges and allegations indicate by ICTR and the IRMCT for genocide and other crimes against humanity. The ICT later concluded that Sikubwabo had died. His whereabouts were investigated and he was accounted as a deceased. The IRCTM state it has accounted for all the ICTR fugitives. Sikubwabo was among those determined to have deceased. The last one is Charles. It's called Yandikayo. Yandikayo appeared in the ICTR list of fugitives, listed in the tribunal materials as Kibuye area fugitive. Among the ICTR outstanding fugitive for crime in Kibuye related to prefecture alleged to have directed, incited, participated in killings and other genocide in 1994. Charges indicate that on indicates for genocide and related crimes by the ICTR mechanism. ICT announced the Siniqua has been accounted for and determined to be deceased. With that, findings of mechanism state that all ICTR fugitives had been accounted for, some by arrest, others by confirmed deaths. Yeah. So after looking at this short bows for these people, we are now going to look at one more thing where we have some countries that have been harboring these people, some countries that have been keeping these genocide perpetrators, these fugitives, bearing in mind that these are criminals and they committed very serious crimes that are supposed to they are supposed to be accountable for. A case, an offense of genocide is a very serious offense. It's a felon offense, and people must not take it for granted. People must account for this offense. And I can assure you, countries like France have harbored a lot of genocide perpetrators, including Kabuga Felician himself. Kabuga was being uh, being traced or being looked for. He was not being traced while people knew he was in France. That is a big sign that France was harboring Kabuga. We also saw Protem Hiranye's case, as I was reading it from here, where we witnessed him going to Zimbabwe, living in Zimbabwe for so many years, changing his names from his original names of Protem Hiranye to another name called Sambao Ndumbe, a Zimbabwean name, which made him to hide more. And I can rest assure you that the Zimbabwean authorities knew very well that this man was there. They knew he got sick and he died, but they kept quiet. They never disclosed where this man was. That is another example of a country harboring a genocide perpetrator, a very dangerous genocide perpetrator. So on the list, we are seeing France harboring Kabuga Felician. We are seeing Zimbabwe harboring Protem Hiranye. We are seeing South Africa harboring Kaishema Fulgence, who was arrested recently and he was being now tried. He was living in South Africa. That is another case of harboring a genocide suspect. We are also seeing some other genocide perpetrators still at large, still hiding in different countries, including the Republic of Congo, where some of them are still in the bushes and they are now trying to live in FDLR, a terrorist group which is trying to come back and destabilize the peace that Rwanda is enjoying today, the peace that Rwandans are enjoying today. They are now taking the ideology of genocide to the region at large, something that is actually, and I can say it is scaring, because we are now seeing hate speeches, we are now seeing divisions being done in Congo, just across the border here, in the Republic of Congo, in the area called Uvira, Minembwe, all those areas where Banyamurengas are living. They are being given ultimatum to leave Congo. Most of them are being killed, others are being roasted. I think we have had another episode where we invited a Red Code, a member, and she elaborated more about the killings that are happening in Congo. And we have international bodies like United Nations, the UN Security Council. They are watching these crimes being committed in the Republic of Congo. Today, Kabuga is in Hague, where it has been proved that he's unable to stand a trial because of the ill, maybe probably even because of age. And they have decided to release him on the condition that they find a country that can receive him and protect him. But for some reasons, a lot of countries have refused to receive him because of the crimes that he's facing, of the charges that he's facing among them including the genocide and as well as crimes against humanity. But Rwanda has opened its doors to welcome Kabuga to come and be received in Rwanda. It is the story that was published last week in some media houses that Rwanda is ready to receive Kabuga so that he can come here and live The Hague, which means that Rwanda can receive him. But people would ask themselves questions: what would happen if he came to Rwanda? Can't Rwanda take or do another trial for him? The answer is yes. I think that if the Gacaca courts didn't try him in absentia, or other relevant Rwandan courts never tried him in absentia, most likely if he came, he would be tried and faces justice, because we have the victims of the genocide who need justice. We also have the survivors who need justice. Even the perpetrators must also have justice because they must face punishment. So for today, the case of Kabuga remains a complex case because the entire world have refused to receive him. Now, there's something special about these genocide suspects. These genocide suspects, when they are arrested or when they die, because of the crimes they committed, genocide, I said, it's a felony. It's a very serious, it's a very bad offense. Killing of innocent human beings. When you die, even the heaven cannot receive your body. We have seen the case, the current case of a genocide suspect who died in Niger and he was flown to France to go and be buried there. They refused to bury him there because of the crimes that he's carrying on his forehead. This man was the brother to the former First Lady of Rwanda, Madame Agatha Kanziga, who is also facing who is also having other allegations of genocide crimes. She's currently living in France, and she has been in and out of court for so many years. One day the court tries to try her, the other day they release her, just like that every day, and up to now she has not faced the reality of her role in the genocide planification. So, like I was telling you, some of these genocide perpetrators, a good example is Ziginanyirazo Prote, who died in Niger and was taken to France for burial, but the French soils refused to receive his body because his body is believed to be, his hands are not clean, as well as even the heaven refused to receive Prote because Ziginanyirazo Prote, because of the crimes he committed against civilians, against the Tutsi, the genocide against Tutsi. Today, this was our episode to discuss the most dangerous genocide perpetrators and where they have been hiding. I thank you all for paying your attention. This was Innocent on the US New Times. I thank you again. See you soon on another exciting episode. Thank you. Have a good day and enjoy. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, and remember to promote our contents. Thank you.